In with John Corabi, the lead singer of the Dead Daisies. And folks, if you haven't checked out their music, you're missing it.
It is
Let me tell you.
fantastic, brother.
And I've
It
been
is
I've been jamming for
fantastic
the
stuff.
last week,
Yep.
so it's some amazing music there. Okay, so
Absolutely.
we are live on YouTube. I'm going to refresh there, and DC, we're
All
ready
right,
whenever
here
you're
we
ready to
go.
hit the intro.
Hi, this is Ivan from Men Without Hats, and you're listening live from Nashville to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with DC and DH.
They grew up together. They played the same sports, attended the same schools, and now they even teach together. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH. So guys, take it away. Take it away, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. I'm DH.
I am DC.
And we're here to take another fantastic look at all things 80. But DC, we got a
Special
special
night.
show tonight. Special show
yes, sir.
tonight. And man, I am so excited for this one. We're going to skip
Yep.
all the how was your week and my week
Right.
and there, we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
I've
do
been excited
that.
about this since we set this one up. So DC, I'm going to throw it over to you for introduction.
Oh, me too, man. Me too. Yeah, we got Mr. John Corabi joining us tonight. You guys, very well known. He has done it all when it comes to
Yes.
the history of music that he's been doing. And
yes.
man, we're honored to have you, John. How are you
Definitely.
tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm just out in my backyard, just kind of hanging out, doing some interviews, I think the cicadas have gone to bed now.
Yeah, we're having our troubles here in Nashville with them too,
Yes.
man. I guess everybody is.
Yeah, I was driving my truck yesterday, and my wife and I were just counting the ones that splatted on the windshield.
Right. That's right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. I got to ask this, man, first. Hey, just the timeline of just the amazing journey that you've had. Is this, you got to be proud of all the accomplishments to this point that you've done.
You know what, dude? I honestly, without sounding cliched or weird, whatever, but I really truly have to pinch myself, like, because I just feel like so blessed.
Yeah.
There's not just people that come into the business and don't stay that long. Do you know what I mean? They're not
Right.
they're not still doing it.
Yeah.
But just I look around sometimes and I hear, and I see bands that are just so freaking talented and never make it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fact that I've done, God, I've been around for 35 years now professionally.
Wow. Yeah.
15. This is my 16th record.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm very blessed. I have a, beautiful home, beautiful wife, beautiful family, and I wouldn't trade my gig in for anything. So
Right.
life
Yeah.
is good. Bobby's land.
And
Yeah.
and John, one of the things that I want to kind of talk a little bit about here is you're such an amazing performer, but the consistency of the sound, from album to album, and that consistency you guys have,
Mm.
and every song. I mean, there's not one song where you go, oh well, because on some albums you're like, oh, I don't really care for that song. I listen to this, but I've been listening to you guys' songs for the last 2 weeks, and there's not one song out there. How do you consistently hit that high mark? I mean, it's just amazing.
To be honest with you, like, I had a really good friend of mine, because there was a point in my career where I was like, I was kind of sitting, freaking out, to be honest with you. Like, I was seeing the slide, if you will.
Mm.
A lot of bands that were really popular and then weren't so popular anymore.
Yeah.
And I can tell you exactly when it was. I was doing a show. I actually played guitar with Rat for a minute, and I was doing a show, and it was it was Dokken, Rat, Firehouse, Warrant,
Wow.
and
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
and we did this outdoor festival in Iowa, and the ticket sales had been okay for that tour. And we did this outdoor festival, and they were expecting like 2, 3, 4,000 people. And I don't think when Dokken was the last performer that night, and it had been an all-day thing, and I don't think there was 150 people there when Dokken played.
Mm.
Wow.
And I had a bit of a panic attack. And I was just sitting there going, shit, like I literally peaked in 1994. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I immediately started thinking like, I need to reinvent myself and make myself more like viable in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this really good friend of mine just sat down and I was recording, I record like 3 songs, and I would come home and I would play them for a bunch of people, and they would go, yeah, they're pretty cool. And like, so I was just all over the map. And he said the funniest thing to me. He goes, John, there's a lot of people out there that appreciate what you do. Don't worry about the other shit.
Yeah.
Just do what you do.
Great advice, man. What great advice.
Just,
yeah.
And just stick with the thing. Don't, and then he would send me things. And it's funny now, I don't know if you guys have seen him or not, but like Rick Rubin, that the music producer, has been doing like video interviews and explaining. He wrote a book as well about a lot of this. And he said something as well. It was like, I don't write for anybody. I write for me.
There you go.
And if I'm happy with it, more than likely I'll get on stage and I'll do my thing.
There you go. Yeah.
All
out. Yeah.
Then I'm happy with it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the thing. That's the beauty of the Daisies, is we don't worry about it. We have our, sorry about the plane. We have our influences.
Yeah.
The Zeppelins, the Beatles, Aerosmith, AC/DC, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we just put our cards on the table and we just do our thing and put it on a, vinyl and just throw it out there and hope it sticks.
Absolutely.
But right.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
most
So
definitely does. Most
and
definitely
I think
does.
that's what makes it so great, is that you guys just, you do you. There's
Yeah.
so many times today where you see bands trying to emulate someone else or changing sounds, but just to see that pure, I mean, and what a group of musicians and talented artists. First off, let me say
Amazing.
that.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing.
Absolutely.
The thing of it is, like, everybody, I think a lot of people, where they go wrong is they try to do something that's never been done before. And in this industry, like, I mean, you can ask any member of the Daisies, we're not reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? It's just, we're doing what we do.
Yeah.
This is what we like. And, we're going to have some stuff that sounds like Zeppelin. We're going to have some stuff that sounds like AC/DC. We're going to have some stuff but it was all that rock that we grew up listening to. We love it. And here it just
this is the way we're going to throw it out. Yeah.
Just our twist on it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
Well, mentioning about the influences, that was the next place I was wanting to go real quick, is that through reading some stuff, you have some connections with several of the KISS members. How did that kind of come along? Yeah.
Well, when I moved to LA, one of the first people that I met, I think it was one of the first people that I met was Eric Singer.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had a band that moved from Philadelphia with me.
Wow.
And then Gene Simmons took a liking to the band and tried to sign us to his record label back in the day. I also, when I was in Motley, I became very good friends with Bruce Kulick through Nikki Sixx. So when, God, within probably 5 months of each other, Bruce lost the Kiss gig and I lost the Motley gig. So Nikki was the one that called Bruce and called me and said, you guys would probably write some really cool shit together. You should,
Isn't that something? Yeah.
And then because of the connection with Bruce, then I became friends with Paul and Tommy Thayer and Ace Frehley and Chris and all that stuff. So I met them all. They're all lovely. Vinny's a little weird, but they're all lovely.
That's fantastic. That's cool stuff.
One of the coolest things, John, that when I was kind of looking at some of the history of the band that I seen was when you guys, it was like right after the Obama administration, I think, had reopened ties with Cuba, and you guys were kind of that cultural breakthrough for Cuba. That had to be amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that
cool
experience?
stuff?
You know what? From a history point of view, I'm a little bit of a history nerd as well. And I don't think there's like a Kennedy documentary that I haven't watched in my life. So when they initially, that was the first gigs that I did with the Dead Daisies. It was the 2 shows in Cuba. And I don't know what the deal was. They had a singer prior to me. And for some reason he couldn't go there. So they parted company with him, and then I came into the picture. And I got to be honest with you, man, there was some things there that blew me away. And then the history of, obviously the Bad Pigs and Guantanamo, just all that stuff. So it was amazing. And I have to be honest with you, when we went there, it was all done by our government and the Cuban government. And we went there, everybody, an official that traveled with us, everybody that was there with us was amazing. They treated us great. The food was amazing. The music was amazing. It was, God, ridiculously cheap there. I'm literally talking about they call them Cuba Libre, rum and Coke, like $1.
Wow.
For a drink, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I get the politics there, but there's some unbelievably, and it's sad. And I don't want to get into political shit. I try to stay out of that as much as possible, but it was really the point when, regardless of how you feel about it, like I understood why Obama was saying, all right, let's open relationships here. There's been like this imaginary wall between Florida and Cuba since 1961. It's not working.
Right.
Maybe if we try the other approach and go down there, open relations, allow Americans there for tourist visits, it'll help them with their economy. And maybe we can come to the table and not worry about, those other threats that the government worries about.
Yeah.
And I was really excited about it because it really is a beautiful, they have beautiful beaches, great, like I said, great food, great music. If you're a cigar smoker, you're going to get the best cigars in the world. It's reasonably cheap. And it was just sad to me that, once I guess Trump came in or whatever, and they just reversed it all again. And who knows why.
Yeah.
But I was like, God damn it. Like, it's another place that, a lot of, not just us, but a lot of musicians could have gone to
Right.
and done
Yeah.
really good business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where music kind of crosses those borders and boundaries.
True.
I mean, it's kind of a way to unite people, really, if you think about it, what you guys did.
You know, it always does. I just watched a, I mean, obviously we saw like, you know, what was that? Live Aid, you know, Army, you know, and you can literally get people in there that, you know, for one day, you can have, you know, somebody like a Hillary Clinton supporter stand right next to a Trump supporter,
Right.
and they're not going to give a shit about anything but the music.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And
Well put.
same with, you know, and to a degree, sports.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
when you wins the championship, man, you don't give a shit who the guy next to you voted for. You could care less.
Right.
So that's the beauty of those things that I think it's sad that it comes down to that. But you know, music and those kind of things are powerful, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be
Yeah.
amazing if we could all live that way every day?
Yeah.
I mean, how
Yeah.
amazing would
Yeah.
that be? Yeah. So yes,
You know,
definitely.
And unfortunately, it's you know, there's a couple good things you guys should watch if you get a chance. One is this documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And the other one is called The Swamp. And once you watch those, you'll have a better understanding of like to me, the evil in all of this equation is this thing that I'm talking to you on right now. The phone, the internet, social media.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
now, like when I was a kid, you had respect for certain offices, regardless of who you voted for. The president was the president, you respected him.
Yes.
And you had respect for your elders. And now there's, you know, phones on cameras and just, it's just way too much information. But the thing that's scary is on that social dilemma thing, they had all these guys that developed Facebook, Instagram, Google, like all this GPS stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's weird, like I didn't realize it, but if you and I opened our Facebook pages up at the same time, our Facebook news feed, whatever, your news feed and my news feed is going to be completely different because hypothetically, say you voted for Trump and I voted for Hillary Clinton. Well, what these computers are doing now, it's really weird. The computers now are creating profiles. So what they do is when you scroll, if you stop at something, the computer clicks it. If you open it, it clicks it. And then it times how long you read the story. If it was just something you read for a minute and then shut it, it makes a note. If it's a story that you read the whole thing, the computer goes, oh, he's interested in that.
Yeah, he documents your interests. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And weird because the very end of that documentary, you really have to watch this because it really hammers everything home. At the very end of the documentary, the guy said, I'm terrified because I really feel like it's just going to be civil war everywhere, not just in America, everywhere.
Yeah, worldwide. Yeah.
What we've done accidentally is we've created a world where these computers are creating a world where nobody's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could, you know, again, whoever you vote for, if you're interested in that person, it's only going to feed you the shit that it knows is
you're interested in.
Right.
that you're interested So you can sit there and argue facts that are just not facts. You know what I mean? It's just it's finding the things that you want to see and read, and it's feeding them to you. Right. So we're the phones are the thing that the phones and computers and social media thing now is like, it's beautiful because I can talk to you like this.
Yeah.
In my back.
Sure.
Scary because it's getting way ahead of us.
That's right.
Yes.
Even with this AI shit, you know what I mean? It's like you've got people doing records with other people that weren't even in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have artists like, I think it was Elvis I was reading about the other day, where they're actually using a hologram of him now to perform with people on videos. That's just wow.
Well, here's another one. Cheryl Crow was just talking about this about a couple of weeks ago. I saw a video. I don't know how long it's been that George Carlin, the comedian's been dead.
Yes.
Right.
10 years, 15 years.
Probably. Yeah.
And two comedians just wrote in the style of George Carlin. And then they loaded it into AI and they just did a new George Carlin record with his.
Crazy.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
Yes.
So we're moving a little, it's getting a little crazy, you know what I mean? And I think, humanity is following suit.
Yes.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about for a moment here the new stuff that's been put out.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I want to say this: the Resurrected 1 and 2, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic songs out of that library or that catalog. Excuse me. That's just amazing. But to go along with one of the most awesome songs, Resurrected, is fantastic. But this new one, we need to talk about this new one. Light 'Em Up, that this kind of got released this month. Fantastic, man. Talk about how all that kind of came about, that song.
We just, honestly, we went into the studio. It was time to do a new record. We toured last year. We had a blast. It was good. We didn't have to worry about doing a record. We just got back together and relearned a bunch of the old songs and went out and had some fun.
Yeah.
And we said, let's do a record. And it was weird. We did a little bucket list thing and everybody flew here to Nashville and, we got Marty Fredrickson back in the fold again. And, we literally started rehearsing at Marty's and writing and we packed up and we had the good fortune of being able to go down the Muscle Shoals.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
James Studios in Muscle Shoals.
Sure.
And we did some more writing and recording there. And a little side note, we did a lot of jamming. Every night it was wine 30 or, whiskey 30.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I got you.
Some awesome jamming, some blues jams, and we recorded everything. And then we came back here to Nashville and we finished up the record. And like this first song, I love it. The reaction that we've been getting is just insane.
Yeah.
And it's blowing up on YouTube. Like, I don't think we've had a video go up that fast, but it's really taken off. Apparently David, our manager, just wrote to a couple days ago. We just got added on all the A playlists all through England. And
wow. Fantastic.
So it's good to be back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
But well, speaking of that, go ahead, John.
I'm just saying, like, I can't wait for you guys to hear the rest of the record.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm
well,
ready.
it's kind of out there, like, trying to get that apple off of there. It's kind of let's give you a little tidbit of it. Yeah, exactly. Kind of dangling the carrot out there a little bit for you or whatever. Yeah, can't wait, man. Cannot wait. It is fantastic stuff. Yeah. And speaking of those two, unique videos as well. You don't see the layout of those kind of videos. Very well done. Very well done.
We have a guy named David Pear that travels with us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He does all of our social media for us. And like the whole time we were recording, he was just chomping at the bit. He goes, I cannot wait to just get in front of my computer and put together an awesome video for you guys.
It is fantastic. And it's different. Yeah. It is very different. Yeah. And it sticks with you. And you got a song that's going to stick with it, people, or songs, of course. But the video one too. I mean, so he's spot on. Yeah, the video. You remember the scenes in the video too, yes, with it. Fantastic. I mean, well done. Absolutely.
Yeah. David. It's funny. There's 3 Davids in this thing. Our manager, David. Our players, David, and our videographer is David as well.
Wow.
But
yeah.
They all did a great job, man.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say with the talent that they're working with, it's going to be an awesome product when it comes out.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think the thing that excites me most about the band, John, is that you guys are all amazing, like I said before, performers and artists. But to see y'all come together and actually just, I mean, you're just up there kicking rear end, man. And it's been a while since I've seen a band come through, this day and time, most everything's synthetic or that, they use tracks and all this other stuff. But to see
you guys are so genuine and real,
laying it out,
energized.
Awesome.
I mean, it's needed. It's your style of what you're putting out is just fantastic, energized stuff.
Well, it's like I said earlier, man. We're not reinventing the wheel.
That's right.
But again, I can't stress it enough. It's the fact that, we actually like each other. You know what I mean? We're pals. We're friends. Like the whole
makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, like we're always screwing around with each other on stage. I'll walk up behind Doug and I'll put my arm around his neck and I'll sing in his ear and then I'll take my thumb and stick it down, and
sure.
and he laughs, but we just time, man. It's like, and I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing that connects with the audience is that we have a good time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's infectious. Yeah. It's infectious. Yeah, sure it is.
Guys laugh all the time, David Lowy, all of them, because they never know what's going to come out of my mouth when I'm talking. I don't have shit written down. I'll remember. I don't want to planes. I don't want to discuss your audience or anything, but it was funny. We were in London, and at the time we had Marco Mendoza in the band, and his bass amp went down, and and it was just the guys were struggling, the crew guys were struggling to get it back up.
Yeah.
So I started talking, and I told this joke. It's very risque. But I told this joke to the audience in London, and I was making a comment. I said, I was walking around London yesterday, and I said, man, you guys have a beautiful city. And I said, I have to tell you though, like, I went out to dinner. I stepped into a pub, and I said, man, you're never going to believe who I ran into. And then I told this story about running into the actress Kate Beckinsale. I said, yeah, I was just, went to a pub and I went to dinner, and then I was just wandering around and I bumped into Kate Beckinsale. And I said, I'm not normally a kiss and tell guy, but I had sex with her. And so everybody's like, what? The whole audience was just like, I could see David Lowy on the side of the stage. He's like, what are you doing? So I go, and if anybody's listening, I apologize. I go, there's 3 things you need to know about having sex with Kate Beckinsale. Number 1, God is that woman tight. Ugh. I'm not the most well-endowed human being on the planet, but it took me 30 minutes to get.
Wow.
What a sport. I had sex with that woman every which way but Sunday, and she never said a word, not a peep. She just took it like a woman. And number 3, the people at your wax museum have no sense of humor at all.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah.
at the point, the audience was booing me up until the last line. and they got it.
That's that's great.
Yes.
That is funny stuff. Oh, wow. Before we get you out of here, I want to let's do this. We're here in the Nashville area as well, guys. And we get a bunch of people coming in here, especially in the summer. And one of their dates is Sunday, June the 16th.
Yes.
The Basement East, and if I'm not mistaken, DH, that's over on Woodland Street.
Yes, I believe so.
Downtown, and 917 Woodland Street. I got it right here. Yeah. And, here in Nashville, in the Nashville area. The show is at 8 p.m. And, DH, we already talked about this, man.
You're
going to see some amazing musicians.
Oh, man.
And, hey, you spend a small amount of money that this is going to be for seeing these guys. You see that, you get that at a dinner, man. I mean, and you're going to get some unbelievable music. And that show is at 8:00, and doors open at 7.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but it's Father's Day, so you can buy
there you go.
Hey, show.
That's right. Yeah,
hey, that would be a great gift as a dad.
That would be a great gift for Dad. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
I forgot that.
I mean,
there you go.
You can't
even
come out and
go
to McDonald's for $30 anymore. So
no, you cannot.
What a value! And you're
what a value.
Guys, check out the musicians. I mean, I'm telling you, what you're getting for your money is a lot.
And John, go ahead. Go ahead.
With us as well. They used to be called the Rock and Roll Residency. Now they're called Rock City Machine Company, and bunch of good. They just did a record as well.
Yep.
Guy named Ryan Cook and Jeremy Asbrock, who was in my solo band, also plays with Ace Frehley. And they're great guys, and they got a great album out. Actually, they just covered Bob Seger's Ramblin' Gamblin' Man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Need to look that up. Yeah.
It's going to be rock and roll.
Very, 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 very good show with a lot of great talent.
Yes.
And I got to kind of end with this because I know that this is on your heart a lot is the instrumentals. You know, you like doing the kind of just the guitar by yourself kind of shows sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just got to do a bucket list last August 18th. Started with the Daisies on August 20th.
Okay. Wow.
But I solo tour with Tom Kiefer and Winger.
Wow. What
we did was a sold out show at the Ryman Theater. So that was like a bucket
amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Hey, all the best, man. All the best to you, John. We appreciate you taking the time with us and hope we didn't keep you too long. And hey, all the best to you. Be safe in your travels and all the best to the family and everything. And keep pumping out that great music, man. We look forward to getting all of that album. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely. And John,
working on it. And if any of your viewers threw up in their mouth at my joke,
no worries. Hey, if that's the worst thing they get, then we're good.
Hey,
we're good.
John, we really appreciate it. And you know, we'd love to catch up with you on down the road sometime. Yeah. And if you would share out where everybody can find the videos and all for the band.
Yeah.
Go to we did Dead Daisies. If you look up the Dead Daisies, we have an official page on YouTube.
It is fantastic, by the way. Yep.
And get information at thedeaddaisies.com. or they can go to johncorabi.com as well for any news and things for anything I'm doing. So, but it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Yes. Well, enjoy it, man, because y'all are spot on, man, with what you're doing.
Amazing.
Keep doing it.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you,
John. Thank you for
Mr.
joining us.
John Corabi joining us. We appreciate him taking time with us. And hey, fantastic. Once again, that show is in June the 16th.
Yes.
Fantastic point he made was to get your father out there. Let your father enjoy that show. That's a great idea for
you won't be disappointed with the music, folks. Let me tell you.
So once again, the Dead Daisies, Mr. John Corabi, just a fantastic talent, has done it all, been everywhere, traveled the world with his talent, and just a very nice gentleman. We appreciate him taking time there at his home. You'll get the opportunity to see him. Like I said, check out that show if you're in here for Father's Day weekend in the Nashville area. They'll be at the Basement East, 917 Woodland Street. And like he said, fantastic website. You can get all that information. It's well done. Very easy to follow all the different parts of that website. Show at 8:00 on June 16th. So
yes,
good for them. Great guy, and I am happy for his the success that he's having. That's fantastic stuff, man. So we enjoyed having him and catching up with him. And Chip, appreciate you getting that all set up for me, brother. Yes. And So what we got on the plate tomorrow, man?
Oh, dude, we got another show coming up tomorrow night. We got another special guest coming out. Does a lot of 80s kind of, I guess, retro videos.
A lot of skits, humor skits dealing with the 80s. Some of it's the 70s, but it'll be great stuff that people are very, very accustomed to knowing about. If you're a big 80s person or a 70s person, this will hit right in your wheelhouse. It really will. But we'll have Tara P. Tara P will be joining us. And like DH mentioned, she is definitely a TikTok sensation. And got some cool stuff. And we'll talk to her about how in the world did you get into that? What made you, what led you to that? And what's cool about what Tara does is that she improves and pushes out, one after another of ideas, to kind of reminisce about those 80s. So, excited to catch up with her. So you led that door open, DH, and I'm going to take it. So here it is.
Yes.
So tomorrow night is Tara P. Next Tuesday, another special show next Tuesday.
Yes.
Folks, you take them when you can get them.
1:00 Central Time next Tuesday.
Yeah. And of course you can see that on YouTube at any time after I'll have it up. And DH will mention about where you can also see it on Canyon Star and get your account there. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. But Mr. Ian Oglin, the original drummer and still drummer for Europe, he'll join us from Sweden. So we're excited about having the final countdown and Carrie.
Yes.
And talk about all those great hits that they've got and how some of that came about. I'll have some questions for him about that stuff. And, excited about having Ian on. So that's fantastic. We wrap up the month a week from tomorrow night with actress Susan Snyder. We'll catch up with her. She is, you'll know her work. Been in a lot of things, but one of them that sticks out to you, of course, will be Weird Science.
Yes.
She was one of the actresses that did that famous movie. So, we'll be excited to catch up with Suzanne. So, man, the show is just skyrocketing.
Man. We're booking into November.
Because of folks like yourself that are watching this crazy stuff and enjoy what we do. And, we appreciate y'all.
We're booking into November, dude. Who would have really thought we would be booking that far out? But folks, as that's going to do it for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you can catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker Radio, Radio Republic, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, on the TikToker. Sideways tonight, but we were on there. So thank you for putting up with
I'll
that.
work on that, I promise. When I
Facebook.
get a breath.
Yes, Facebook, DND Dynamite, website, DND Dynamite 80s. Yes, and there's going to be some updates going on those two things here soon. Google Podcast. Again, a shout out to Nashville Voyager. They did an article on
We
DND
appreciate you,
Dynamite
fine
80s, so we
folks.
appreciate that.
Yep.
And as we have
Tell 'em, man.
announced, I guess what it's been almost a month now, I guess.
Probably. We've been on
We
there probably
are
about a month.
some of the newest members of the Canyon Star TV lineup. So we would like to
Yes.
welcome them into the D&D Dynamite 80s family.
And
And like
then
to thank you, like to say
for
thank you for them
being
welcoming
part of
us
our-
in. So,
right.
Yes.
Letting
I think it's
letting
more
us
of a
be a
thank
part of
you
your
on-
family.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thank you on their end. But yes,
Right.
Canyon Star TV, amazing platform, a lot of great shows, a lot of family oriented
Free
shows. Check
account,
that out.
folks.
Yes,
Yeah.
free account.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything, and you get to see some great quality programming like us. What about it?
Right. It's kind of like this show. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll leave out
Right.
the great quality programming. We're going to leave that off. But I mean,
Well,
hey,
yeah, I guess I shouldn't have
it's
said
all
it
good.
that. Yeah,
But
yeah,
folks, as I always ended off before I send it over to DC to play our sponsors and get us out of here.
Yeah.
Remember, it doesn't cost anything extra to be kind. So always be kind to each other. And forgive me for coughing in the middle of that.
right.
Man, I tell you what, these sinuses and stuff are bad this year.
I understand. We live in Tennessee, so I relate to you, man.
Yes,
I get it.
I get it. Yeah.
I get it. So yeah, hey, once again, thank you to our guest, John Corabi.
Yes,
with the
amazing
Dead
job.
Daisies. So
Amazing job.
fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a great time visiting with him.
Yes.
And yeah, catch us tomorrow night. Tara P, the 80s sensation, on TikTok will be with us. So we're excited to catch up with her as well. And let me run these sponsors real quick. when we
Play
get
us
out of
out. Play us out.
D&D Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, The Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee, PJG Marketing, Totally Cool 80s, and Charlie Bubbles Cares for Kids. You can find all these great folks online. You most certainly can. Check out all those great people.
Yeah.
Check them all out.
Check them out.
They are fine people and fine friends of the show, and we appreciate their support.
Yeah.
Hey, and yeah, we hope that you catch up with us again tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Standard Time.
Yes.
Therapy in the house
And
for TikTok.
The return of the survey.
Survey says right.
Yes.
So
Survey
we'll have
says
the survey
tomorrow
ready
night.
to go tomorrow night with our guests. See, and hopefully I can get on the right side of this thing. We'll see.
We're going to prevent that from happening.
Right. All right. Once again, that's DH. I am DC. We appreciate you joining us. So you can catch it on YouTube. Tell all your friends, family, and enemies where we're at, and we appreciate your support. So as DH, we'll see you again tomorrow night, brother.
Yes, sir.
And,
We'll do it all again tomorrow.
All right. And DC always leads you out. Keep playing those 80s, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night.
folks.